What's going on, good people out there in YouTube land and TikTok and whatever else, wherever this video goes? I appreciate you guys. If this is your first time, if you could ever be so kind as to hit that bell, like, and subscribe, thank you in advance. Now, let's launch the show. What's going on, guys? It's your favorite man in black, the man of international mysteries and whatnots and who's it's, the Badwolf. Hopefully everybody's having a good day out there and you guys are appreciating your life and taking accountability and responsibility for your actions. As always, guys, don't do, as we used to say in the old days, any half stepping. Okay. Don't start a process and then be like, oh, I'm not going to finish it, or I'm only going to do a part of it and hope to get the same results, or, oh, I want to suddenly be a national because the police are chasing me or something. Don't do that. You have to operate in the entire moment, not your entire life, the moment, as whatever you're portraying yourself to be. You can't jump on the porch in the old days and be like, "Oh, I'm safe. I'm on base. Can't touch me." All right, don't do that. You have the right to be either or, but if you started a controversy or an event as a U.S. citizen, then you're going to have to run that out as a U.S. citizen or have a hard time fighting because if you've depicted yourself to be a U.S. citizen in that moment, then that's who you are. All right. But that doesn't mean you still don't have rights as a national under the Constitution. Let's get going. So, what do I have in this video for you guys? Oh, we've got some fire. Once again, people like you bring to me tips, tricks, inside, outside, techniques, methods to the madness on how to live a slightly better life. So if you guys do have anything that's not going to be considered above top secret or anything that requires a security clearance, do not send in me any of that stuff because I don't want to get you, me, or anybody else in trouble. All right. So stay away from that stuff. But if it's a normal thing that you guys just happen to know about or you work for an agency and you can share it, send it to me. Send me the file or send me the information, whatever else. All right. Remember, as always, guys, everything here is education and entertainment purposes, for informational purposes only. Do your own research. All right. With that being said, let's get into it. This particular video is about, and let me pop it up here in a moment. Let me make sure I get the numbers right because I haven't seen anybody show this one. Ah, here it is. So we're going to be looking at the IRS Form 15103. 15103. Why is that an important file? As always, this is just for information. Please do your own research. Vet everything, whether it's my information or especially somebody else's. All right, so let's take a look. Bum, bum, bum. IRS Form 15103 is a Form 1040 return delinquency form for delinquency of a return of a 1040. IRS Form 15103, also known as 1040 return delinquency, is used to respond to the IRS when they send you notice indicating you're missing one or more tax returns. You need to file your 1040 return immediately for the tax year under review or explain to the IRS why you have not filed. So, if you have not filed or you are practicing what they refer to as tax avoidance, this is the grand poobah, the Willy Wonka ticket for why you didn't file your taxes. Can you not file and use this form? Yeah, that's what they're saying here. I mean, I would probably still yet do my revocation, but they're basically saying if you don't have your form, you didn't file your 1040, tell us why. Show us why. Here it is, 15103. Now, it looks very just plain Jane, right? Very ominous. Doesn't look special or anything like that. Well, one, because they don't want anybody to really be drawn, their attention drawn to this. And all I'm going to say here before I go on, hold on, stop the sharing, stop, flag 'em. It's come to my attention that a lot of you guys out there have been enjoying the benefits of my channel. You haven't subscribed, so go ahead and hit that subscribe. You don't have to hit the bell and be notified if you don't want to, that's fine. But at least subscribe. We're trying to get to 100,000. If you've benefited from this information, I would appreciate helping me to get to 100,000. After that, you won't hear me complain or moan about not subscribing. But the second part, I've been hearing you guys have been winning some of your court cases. You guys have been profiting. You guys are not paying your taxes. So you have this extra compensation here, and you're not sending any donations or appreciations, no gifts, nothing. What y'all think that YouTube pays me enough money to like what retire or something? And they just reduced it by like 25%. So I'm not over like 100,000 where you start to make at least decent money. And it's based on a lot of views and people buying things and the ads and compensation for people watching the video, the commercials. So what I'm trying to say is it's definitely appreciated for every little thing you guys do out there. All right. Don't lose the humanity of just being able, because most of you guys, in all honesty, if this was back in the day, this would be a private thing, me at my house doing this, and you guys wouldn't have access to these videos through me. So if you do appreciate this, you do appreciate me doing it the right way, keeping you guys out of trouble and compliant with the state and the government and the legal department, then send in a donation. You can just hit PayPal, James C Lovett at yahoo.com. You can go to Black Site. You can join the Wolf Pack on YouTube and subscribe monthly. Dollar donation. I think the most is $24. You guys spend way more than that on stupid stuff. So appreciate it. All right. Because I do appreciate you and all of it means something to me. So let's get back to it. Enough with the jibber jab. Because I'm going to also show you how I educationally fill mine out. Most of these places on YouTube, guys, they're literally giving you bits and pieces and then making you pay a whole lot of money for the last little bit. And we don't do that here, do we? You got like 100 and some files or whatever it is on Black Site 32 for free. A lot of my documents, I've even turned them over for free. But because I don't get enough donations, I'm just going to call it out. I don't. I get maybe 3 or 4 a month. So that whole, oh, he probably makes a ton of money and he probably has lots of donations now. I'm okay with the money. But some of y'all out there supporting other channels and things and sending in, lots and lots of donations and little bits add up. I'm not even asking for big donations, just more, whatever you can, as you like. But if you can't, I understand. Or if you don't want to, I also understand. But I'm just saying, if you do it other places and you come to my channel, doesn't have to be today, but maybe tomorrow or the next week or whatever. And if you're winning court cases and you're getting paid and you're not gifting my nation a check, Just saying, it's kind of selfish. But at the end of the day, if you're learning this and you're paying it forward, that's the most important part, you know? So let's get to it. All right. So if you're going to use this form to cover any back years where you didn't file, or however you're going to move, this form, from my perspective, is how you inform them that you didn't have to file for those years. This is the CYA, cover your ass form. You guys have no idea. Trying to give you some indications on how powerful this form is. They don't like it when I go too deep into all of the uses, so you're gonna have to use your imagination. But this says complete both sides of this form and send it to us in the enclosed envelope, or just mail it into them. Be sure our address shows through the window. So make sure you're sending it to the correct address. As you see, it doesn't show it on here. So if you want to call them and ask, hey, what's the correct address? I should send my 15103 to my local, whatever. That is on you. So let's put in the social. Okay. Then taxpayer name. All right. Now, obviously, this is not my real social, so don't try. Obviously, not my real name, just doing it for the video. If your address has changed or you're using a P.O. box or whatever else, put it in here. If you put your phone number, they may call you versus actually sending you a response letter. For the zip code, for me, I'm going all zeros. Indicate whether any of the following circumstances happen to you. So now they're breaking down why you might have the ability to be exempted from that last year where you didn't file. If you didn't do your so this is actually an additional piece to the revocation of election. This is an additional piece to the revocation of election using your W8BEN. That's why this is very powerful. It's a powerful combo. You're hitting them with that pibbity pap, that Bruce Lee. So let's see what their merits might be to get you out of why you didn't file. Because remember, nothing changes in their dead maritime jurisdiction on paper until you update it. This document, hear me, people, is as powerful as the revocation of election, especially after the fact. They will never, on any one of these forms or on the federal codes, ever give you the first option as being the best one for you. Your freedoms will always be on the last option available or near the bottom. They have to address those things later on. So let's start at the top. So this is if you already filed a tax return. So if they're contacting you and they're saying, well, you need to file, but you've already done it, you're going to check right here. I already did one for 2024. And I'm enclosing a signed and dated copy of that return as a verification. So you should have it. Or whatever form that you used. But here they're saying I already filed. So you're saying I already filed my return. Now, when they say filed my tax return, are they saying you can't put W8B in here? The way I'm looking at this is a return could be a zero file return. This is an optional way of doing it. Putting in your dates, blah, blah, blah. However, this is not my preferred best method. It's a method. They might try to argue, well, no, this means only if you actually, well, see, what are you doing? You've filed a tax return. They're all called that. Whatever you're sending into them that's tax related is a tax return. So you could get away, potentially, educationally speaking, putting the WAB in right here using this first section. Not my preferred way, so let's go on. I'll show you mine. Second part, if the person, which could be a living person or an entity, and I'll prove that in 1 second, addressed on this notice is deceased. Your straw man has always been deceased, but you are operating it. You, the living person, have always, or not always been alive, but you are alive. You could put the date of that dead person. But Wolf, I don't know, man. It says person. Okay, well, let's read on. Let's say if I do put this, okay, then I check here. I already filed the form 1041 income tax return for what? Estates, trusts, instead of form 1040. So they're telling you here, these are persons. Persons can be estates and trusts and etc. Name on the return, employer identification number, listed if it's an entity and has one. Once again, still yet not my preferred method, but you could deceit the straw man or your trust or other entities. Telling you guys, you have no idea how powerful this is. I haven't seen anybody's video or this video about this form done in its entirety at all. Could be wrong. Maybe somebody else has, but we're doing it here. So appreciate this stuff. Support your boy. All right, let's keep going. If you don't think you have to file a tax return for put in the year, explain why you don't think you are required to file a tax return for. Note, the answers to these questions apply to the blank tax. Okay. So what year? So you're letting them know again. You may have multiple ones or different years or whatever else. My filing status was me, single, because I'm legally single, but not single. And though my girl really watches these, I don't want her to kill me. All right. Or head of the household, depending on whichever one's best for you. Me, generally, I go single. Now let's look at some of the methods that you can possibly not have to pay taxes. I was 65 years or older. So if you're 65 or older, you don't have to pay taxes. You were blind. You don't have to pay taxes. My spouse was 65 years or older. Don't have to pay taxes. Spouse is blind. Don't have to pay taxes. I am not a U.S. citizen or permanent resident. Shebang. That's going to be one of my top choices. I'm operating as a U.S. national, private citizen, foreign national, national of the United States, non-resident alien for tax purposes, / U.S. national. Or my work was performed in another country. Now, depending on your overstanding of the law, some people could click that one. And I'll show the reason for it if I check this one, now look, mind you, it doesn't say mandatory. It doesn't say you have to fill out any of that down there. Simpler is better. Do not put a ton of stuff in here and try to explain all this gobbledygook and get yourself in trouble. They work by the KISS principle. Keep it simple, stupid, or keep it stupid, simple. So if you're going to check my work was performed in another country, remember, America is legally foreign to the U.S. corporation. Okay. Now, my first choice would be this one. The last choice says I could be claimed as a dependent on somebody else's tax returns. If that's true, you'd use that one. So, educationally speaking, should this be mine? Here's how I would do it. My income, let's say I made 50,000. Okay. I would say zero income earned. Private compensation, 50K. Non-domestic. Without the U.S. Reason for not filing, private tax exempt. You could put citizen. It's fine. National or IRC for Internal Revenue Code. U.S. national regarded as non-residents, alien. Zero file list. Okay. You can put all this down here. That's fine. You can abbreviate it. Up to you. Now, down here, page 2, indicate whether any of the following circumstances apply to you. So it says if, okay, or indicate whether any of the following circumstances. So optional. If you have a refund from a prior year that you applied for your taxes or made estimated tax payments for taxes, I want to apply the credit to another tax return. So you can apply your credit. You got some credit. Yeah, I messed up this year. Probably going to owe. So, yes, I want to apply that. If not, then you don't worry about it. Note, you must file a tax return for whatever year to apply the prior year credit. So, tax form number, whatever you're using, pay period, social. If you're using this section. Or I want to receive the credit as a refund check. Oh, figured out something. Something's in the way. Okay. All right, let's get back to it. Sorry. You must file a tax return to be eligible for a refund, even though you may not be required to file. So what they're saying here is that if you're going to do this refund and you haven't filed, you at least have to still send in a 1040 with all zeros on it because that's a tax return. They have to have something in their computer to update. If this doesn't apply, then you're good. Ignore it. Sign and mail to us. So put your name in here or right down here. I would put beneficiary behind it. And then your date. That's it, guys. That's it. That is the run through of the 15103. Okay, so I'm going to add, well, I'll do that after the video. I'll wait. So that's it. Now you guys know how to take care of any of those missing years where you guys didn't file your 1040s, and or if they come bothering you, have your 15103. But this is another method to properly doing the revocation of election. Because now they know, for the love of Jeebus, make sure you have copies. Copy for you, and mail in your copy to the correct location and be tax exempt. Badwolf, baby. All right. Hopefully you guys appreciated this. So let's make the donations bell ring. It's a little quiet right now. I trust you. You guys will do it. But as a bare minimum, hit that thumbs up to like the video and subscribe as a bare minimum. And I thank you guys in advance. All right. From the leader of the wolf tribe to you guys, sprinkle me, baby. Or as I'm sprinkling you guys with this knowledge. All these are gem drops, guys. So go get it. All right. I'll talk to you guys later. Hopefully you guys appreciated and enjoyed the video and entertainment for informational purposes only. Do your own research. None of this is to be construed as legal advice from your favorite non-belligerent, non-combatant, treated United States, Lord of Levitica, beneficiary, sometimes an agent of my trust. All right, guys, go do something fun. Take care of yourselves, and I'll talk to you later. Wolf's out.